Well, the weather roller coaster continues tonight. We're in the 20s right now, but tomorrow morning we are talking about temperatures that will eventually get near 50. Thanks for inviting us in on this Friday night. It's 11 o'clock, so the phrase tender and mild seems pretty fitting for the week of Christmas forecast.
I like that, and yes, we've got near record warmth potentially in the Christmas Day forecast.
Love it.
So we have to make it through tonight first, and the roller coaster continues. Hard to believe we were in the mid 50s for highs yesterday. We've been stuck in the 20s this afternoon into this evening, and we're still there. 24 Indianapolis and Greencastle, 21 degrees in Crawfordsville. We're as cold as 19 in Richmond. Temperatures really aren't going to move much. If anything, they'll start to go up a bit overnight as the south wind kicks in. Some clouds, some sun, 31 degrees at 8 a.m. Midday temperature tomorrow of 42, and we will be warmer by about 20 compared to the 20s we had this afternoon. That will put high temperatures 45 to 50 degrees. It is going to be a very breezy afternoon. Sunshine a little cooler on Sunday, forecasting highs in the mid 30s, and then you can see the roller coaster. It is here as far as tracking those high temperatures near record warmth by the time we get into Christmas Day. I'll also be tracking some rain chances in the 7-day.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit to talk about all that, Angela. Thanks. Make sure you've got our live Doppler 13 weather app on your phone. That way you can navigate this weather roller coaster. It's a free download. Get it before you go to sleep tonight. You'll find it in the App Store. Tonight at 11, the president's executive order to reclassify marijuana has now caught the eye of Indiana's hemp industry. It faces an uncertain future after a move by Congress to end the federal government shutdown last month. Lawmakers slipped some language into the bill that would greatly reduce the amount of THC allowed in popular hemp products. But as Alex Almanza discovered, this latest move by the president could be promising for the hundreds of thousands of jobs in our state's hemp industry.
Since November, hemp businesses across Indiana have been in limbo. Jack Babcock runs a THC and CBD beverage business. He says a bill that would have shut down his business has had him on edge.
So you're talking about really serious jobs being lost, and it's all very concerning.
Hemp businesses here in Indiana were preparing for the worst, as the threat of a fast-growing industry being upended was a good possibility. But this week, that conversation shifted.
For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, incurable diseases.
President Trump signed an executive order beginning the process to reclassify marijuana, a move that doesn't directly change hemp law, but sent a signal to the industry.
The White House signaled strong support for the hemp industry and instructed federal agencies to work with Congress to really fix the hemp language.
Justin Swanson with the Midwest Hemp Council says that message matters.
An acknowledgement that the law that was passed does way more harm than it does good.
For businesses that have spent months bracing for the worst, that shift doesn't erase the risk.
And so I think that we just ask for, a fair shake and, for our voices to be heard. And, I really think that's as simple as that.
In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
The new hemp standard passed by Congress is set to take effect late next year, giving lawmakers time to revisit this issue if they choose to do so. The federal reclassification also has Hoosiers eyeing the State House, among them Jeff Staker. He's a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. He used cannabis for several years for chronic back pain that he developed during his service. He's part of the group Hoosier Veterans for Medical Cannabis and has spent years on the front lines here in Indiana fighting to get medical marijuana legalized.
And I think this is the next step, and it will open up the door for the remaining handful of states that do not have cannabis for medical reasons. I think Indiana can take the proper steps that we need to do to see that this is medically available to our veterans and our citizens.
Indiana Governor Mike Braun has indicated he's open to conversations about legalizing medical marijuana, especially if there's movement at the federal level. So far, we haven't seen any bills yet filed this legislative session to address this particular issue. Now, we've been following this ongoing debate over legalizing marijuana in Indiana for years. You can find all of our coverage and a breakdown of this federal reclassification. Right now, we've got it posted on WTHR.com. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines tonight. 2 men accused of causing a deadly crash while street racing are back behind bars. Angel Acevaldo Franco and Ricardo Martinez Valadez made their first court appearance on reckless homicide charges. Police say they sped through the intersection of Lyndhurst and Vermont Street, hitting and killing Saturnino Gracia before taking off. A judge set bond, but the two suspects are also on a federal hold after ICE identified them as undocumented immigrants. Today we learned the name of a man who was shot and killed on the west side of Indy last night. Police found 37-year-old Corey Howell dead inside of a car near 38th and High School Road. Investigators believe a group of people approached the car, leading to a fight when shots were fired and the suspects ran away. If you have any information, please call IMPD. Tonight, police are investigating a crash involving an Indigo bus that sent 2 people to the hospital. The bus collided with several other cars near Capitol and St. Clair this morning. The bus driver and a person in one of those cars suffered minor injuries. Another data center proposal in central Indiana now wants to expand. Clinton County officials say the company Logistics wants to rezone 700 acres near Frankfort. That's more than triple their initial request of about 150 acres. The Planning Commission votes on whether to allow that next month. The Indianapolis Colts spent today giving back to healthcare workers. Blue and the Colts cheerleaders stopped by Ascension St. Vincent's main campus, thanking them for all they do. They even passed out some Santa hats, and this wasn't their only stop today. They also swung by the airport, local fire stations, the police department, and Indigo. Well, Christmas is now less than a week away, and some families are getting an early gift this weekend. Brandon Schaff tonight shows us how a local church is helping feed hundreds of families and providing presents to spread holiday cheer.
This church is filled with gifts, families pre-registering so they can help make it a special Christmas for when kids open them. More than 200 families are expected on Sunday.
You can just see the smile and the excitement on their face when they will walk over here and they will see some of the gifts that we have for them.
When families come here on Sunday to Barnes United Methodist Church, they won't just be getting gifts to put under the Christmas tree, they'll also be getting groceries to help put food on the table. And they've seen an increased need for that ever since the government shutdown and the pause to SNAP benefits.
The church provides meals twice weekly and has plans to increase how often they have a monthly food pantry to meet that increased need. Indy FOP is one of the church's partners for the annual Community Christmas Giveaway. Shop with the Cop events support hundreds of families in the Indy area, and before kids go shopping, they help prepare for the giveaway.
They actually go through and they assemble one of these holiday food boxes for other folks in the community. So we teach them the lifelong lesson of taking care of others even before they receive themselves.
Rick Snyder says hunger extends beyond the holidays, so they do food distributions throughout the year. At the Community Christmas Giveaway, police officers help how they can for their community.
It's way bigger than the food. It's really a box of blessing, and it reminds people that somebody cares about them.
Each box will have a fresh ham, and additional groceries will include canned goods. Charles Harrison says about 15 partner organizations make the gift and food giveaway possible. Now, families who were helped before are paying it forward.
A lot of them came back and wanted to volunteer this year, so we have some families that have benefited from it now are volunteering and helping other families.
Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
Barnes United Methodist Church is one of several local churches the Indy FOP prepared boxes for. The giveaway begins around 11:30 on Sunday morning. Today, Voices Corp transformed its facility into a free Christmas store. This annual event gives families in need a chance to shop for holiday gifts with dignity, allowing parents to choose free gifts for their children.
And it's really important. Prices are so high, and so for even working families, it's just so hard to spend all that money on so many kids for Christmas. So it's very helpful to support all of them.
Voices has shopping opportunities year-round to help families. That includes their food pantry. We've got details posted right now over on WTHR.com.